Over here in the upper right, in the red, we have our Protoss player. He is
So Dear.
And here in the bottom right, our young and deadly Terran. He is
Maru Prime.
He's got the collar popped.
He does. That is the Prime way.
He's going to the club.
He's got the Prime style, Tasteless.
That's right. He's going to sea-walk out of here if he wins
He's got
this.
a little bit of Marine King Prime in him.
Yeah.
But not too much. He does make pretty good decisions, Maru does.
Yeah, I think Maru is like Marine King Prime Plus.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who would be Diet Marine King Prime, but I'm not entirely sure.
Diet Marine King Prime. I'll think about that for a little bit.
And of course,
see if
I also need to find out who is cherry flavored Marine King Prime.
Cherry flavored.
Did you ever? Was your family soda drinkers?
Yeah, they definitely were.
Okay, yeah, we did not actually have much family. I mean, much soda in my family. I'm wondering, what kind of soda did you drink, and was it the generic kind, or was it main brand like Coca-Cola? That's an awesome wife that dragged you here.
That's true, yeah.
That's an awesome wife. Now back to our soda conversation. Back to our very important soda conversation.
Yes, a very important conversation indeed.
Did you
it was
grab
name
like
brand stuff.
Diet Right or anything like that, or
No,
RC?
No, not really. No, we got the actual soda. It was a little bit more expensive, but with my family being soda drinkers, they liked soda a lot. So
they got soda enthusiasts. I knew this kid, and he had something that was like. These like offshoots of like Dr. Pepper or something like that. I'm not talking about like Mr. Pibb,
like
but
Dr.
it's like
Thunder.
That's it, Dr. Thunder. That's actually what I was trying to lead into. Is I think I remember tasting that and thinking like this is actually better than Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, like Mountain Mist or something. And
oh yeah,
I remember all those. Yeah.
What is the Pringles ripoff that you always? There's this dude. Yeah, he's like. They have him in Korea too.
Oh, like Mr. Potato.
Yeah, Mr. Potato, and he's like just like, hey, I'm also a guy with a mustache that's selling potato chips. Like,
in a tube.
In a tube. Yes.
Isn't it more normal to sell potato chips in a bag? It's like, no, a tube is good.
Nothing wrong. Nothing suspicious here.
By the way, our original is in the red tube. I'm like, really? Did you think of that all yourself? All right.
So we got a fast expanding Terran and a fast expanding Protoss here.
And this is actually command center first into 2 racks into another command center. So a very greedy build to start out for Maru. But Deer did a nice greedy build as well. He went for the gateway into Nexus before the core, before the gas and all that. And he's going straight up into his Robo. But it's going to take him a while to figure out what's going on the other side. The fact that there's going to be a 3rd command center. He shouldn't be able to know until the Observer gets over, probably. Unless this Mothership core can dart in and see it. But Maru's like, notice how he's moving his Marines? Yeah. He's pretty aware that this is probably going to be tried. And he actually gets a little bit lucky there and catches 1 Marine alone. But now Maru knows he's out here and he shouldn't be able to see it.
So this is going to be tricky here. What Maru's doing is very greedy, but if Deer is unaware of it, Deer might not be able to punish it. And as Artos has said, he's going to have to wait for the Observer to get over there.
You know, I'm not sure that he's going to do anything to really punish it. You know, he is getting his gases really, really early, and there is the Forge. So a pretty standard opening here from Deer. Definitely not going to involve any early attacks. That 3rd command center is going to go up without a hitch.
Yeah. Now we have, for the time being, just a little bit of downtime as they just power up. Deer is going to get those upgrades. Maru, he might not lift that command center right away.
Yeah,
he might just use it to lay in mules and crank out SCVs.
Yeah, like super saturate everything and then go take your 3rd when you're feeling a little bit safer. We do have the Colossus tech coming up immediately here for Deer. Of course, he's getting some upgrades as well, just playing kind of normal. Here comes his first Observer. Now, if Maru catches his first Observer right as it pops in, that's a terrible situation. He does have Marines in the base. I don't think he's going to, though. The way that Deer's going in, it looks like that Observer should be able to figure out exactly what's going on.
More gateways coming in here now. Well placed here, too. There's a possibility that scans are going to miss those. And not knowing the gateway count is actually pretty problematic for the Terran.
Certainly. We see that the Observer sees everything. He saw the eBay timings, the factory timing, the add-on timings, and the third command center. So Deer knows absolutely everything about this game, and now we get to see exactly how he wants to react. And looks like that's going to be a fast third. A good choice. There's like no way really for either of these players to kill each other anytime soon.
No, this should be a pretty long and dramatic game here.
I think so. I think this is going to be a pretty big one, unless there's some huge misstep on one side.
Yeah, so we have Armored about halfway completion. Blink has started. Stim is nearing getting done, and Terran is going to have 1-1 shortly here.
Well, that's this is one of those huge macro game stasis. You can't, this is. It's like we're just going to watch powering for a bit. I do think that this is going to get, stay on 3 bases each for a while, though. I don't suspect that we'll see a 4th anytime soon. Of course, with Deer, he's a little bit slower on his economy, so he's going to have to play a little bit turtly on the 3 bases, whereas Maru, because Deer is getting 3 bases and 2 tech roots at the same time, is going to want to put on a lot of early pressure here. We'll have to see if he ends up choosing to do like an SCV pull or something.
Yeah, that's absolutely a possibility. Now, the medevacs are being produced here. When those medevacs are out, that's really where Terran starts to get map control. I don't know if we're going to see dropping or not. This is a map where drops can be pretty good, but Deer has already put things in place to make the drops a little bit more difficult. As you can see here, the 3 pylons in the upper left on the mini-map, one at each expansion, in fact, is going to make it. Now, granted, he can drop and kill the pylon, but that's much more worth it to lose that than to have anything else happen, like he drops and kills your Nexus or a bunch of probes.
So true. Very, very worth it. Just knowing where the medevacs are is going to give an advantage to Deer. So a good thing that he's done that. And in these spots particularly, this is a situation where it's going to be a lot harder for Maru to drop. He has to go through the natural to get to the main base or fly way, way around.
Misclicked with the force fields there.
Yeah.
Did not trap any of those units.
Meantime, he is getting his 3rd Colossus out. We'll have to see when he throws down the Templar Archives. This is like the most important decision as a Protoss player in this situation. Do you grab the Templar Archives a little bit quicker? Do you stay on Colossus a little bit longer? And he's getting a Warp Prism, so that points us towards the fact that he should be grabbing the Templar Archives.
Backing up now is the Protoss. Terran is just maneuvering around the map, hoping to get him out of position. Now, it looks like he's going to attack in 2 spots here. Over at the 3rd, and then he's going to drop in the 2nd, and that's about to happen right now.
Okay, well, the Nexus Cannon goes down immediately. Looks like that drop might not do that much, but there's another drop going towards that main base right now. He has a few Colossus still at his 3rd. Doesn't look like he's going to take any damage there. And pretty solid defense thus far.
Yeah, now this drop in the main could do some more damage here. There doesn't seem to be a ton here to defend for that. Oh, the forge! The forge!
Oh, man.
Now, granted, the upgrades to the forge had just finished, so he had started a new one. That's a pretty big blow here.
Yeah, that's kind of rough. You really do not want to lose a forge. Basically, at any point in this game, that should allow for Maru to stay ahead in upgrades for quite a while.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like that concludes the mid-game drop harassment, and
yeah,
the game is kind of normalized at this point. Now they have to decide when do they want to get their 4th bases, and who wants to be the aggressor, who wants to be the defender.
Yeah, the Protoss does have this Warp Prism, so when if the Terra decides to leave his base, or let's say do an SCV pull, he will fly that into the main and start warping Zealots in. But yeah, I mean, right now they really can't engage each other. So it looks like it's probably just going to be back to a passive game here.
Well, we have the Templar Archives on the way. Some Immortals being pumped out as well to be added into that army. Really strong composition coming up for Deer. And we do have double Starport out for Maru, so he definitely has some potential here. Now, this drop looks like it's doing a pretty good job so far. Not killing a ton of SCVs yet, but dealing some damage, warping in quite a few more Zealots.
Yeah, actually doing a good amount of damage. I'm surprised he sent this in this soon, though.
Yeah.
It seems a bit unwarranted.
I am a little bit surprised about that, but
yeah.
it ended up doing a really good job. How many SCVs did he get? 16.
Yeah, he got way more SCVs than he should have, which makes the drop work. But I feel like overall, in game theory, that should not have actually happened. It should not have worked, and he should not have done it then.
There was,
you know what I'm saying?
Much more potential for Maru to block that drop at that time because his army wasn't too far out of position.
You know, I feel like Terrans need to actually just fly their Vikings up in the bacon area, and right. You know what I'm talking about? Above the main. This is pretty much standard procedure here from Protoss, so it's not like you can't check for that anymore.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, there's always a warp.
We do see a decent amount of Terrans throwing like at least one Viking over the side a lot of the time, but you know, in this game, he is just keeping his Vikings all together. He knows there's a lot of Colossus.
This drop could be huge.
Yeah.
And you can see Deer's headed back over here to stop this, but the distance here on a map this big, it's going to be pretty problematic. Meanwhile, Morrow actually moving out with the rest of his army over here.
Well, he does have some High Templars to try to help out.
You know, this is actually such good placement here. I think it's the Templar Archives.
Ooh.
Oh my god, Morrow is actually dominating so hard right now.
Well, that's a lot of splash damage tech being taken out. Oh, a big warping around, and he actually did not target that down.
Okay, he does. It's just there.
He does get it. A little force going into that third base right now as Deer is taking a fourth.
Well, looks like he's going to go back up. Now, we're catching the tail end of the War Prism harass over here.
He's killed a few more SCVs, who are down to 51 SCVs for Maru.
I think actually Deer's lost hope. He's going to try to do an all-in. We're in a base trade scenario now. Deer headed southbound.
That's right. This third base definitely going to be taken out, it looks like. Oh, another Colossus. No, that's definitely enough Marauders to deal with all this for now. And Deer actually does turn around, but he's going to lose this base.
Nicely
His
done
fourth
here.
is going to go down too then.
Deer is not being decisive enough right now. This is actually completely falling apart. In fact, Deer probably should pull probes or something and just try to attack here with everything.
Oh, man.
This game's a bit of a disaster. Maru, the master of tactics here, is just outmaneuvering his opponent in every corner.
He is, but this is still a really good army. 2 Immortals, 4 Colossi, 11 Blink Stalkers, 6 High Templars, and 2/2 upgrades, which are equal to, or very close to Terran upgrades, actually. I think his 3/3 did finish, so. This is a really scary army still. A lot of this is going to come down to EMPs.
I'm surprised he's actually moving out here. I don't feel like it's necessary for Maru to attack here right now. You know?
He's got to be careful with those Time Warps there, that's for sure. He does come in, flank on the other side, trying to get some EMPs off, but 3 High Templars still have a lot of energy right now. Those Vikings going to work. 2 Colossi are left over.
You know
Side
what?
Storm's landing everywhere.
Actually, the Protoss engagement. What? The Protoss's engagement, I can't talk, was so good and so well executed that now Maru actually has a serious problem on his hands.
Well, he did end up getting rid of the High Templars, but more Zealots coming down right now. Only 3 medevacs left. He does have that bunker, but with the 2 Immortals in there and the Archon as well, this is a ton of damage.
I can't believe this. Is Deer actually going to win this?
I think so, Tasteless.
I can't believe this, man.
Well, you know, a few different things happen in this game that really help him. GG, Deer takes that